Welcome to game number 2 of our match between groggydog and ShadowWalker 227 here as part of the Final Fantasy Spring 2020 tournament. First round of the bracket phase of the tournament. We do have ShadowWalker up 1-0. Now, we don't have that on our screen, so we'll see if we can get that updated at some point. But ShadowWalker ahead 1-0 and is going to try to finish the series tonight. groggydog is going to try to stay alive in this tournament. Hi, everyone. I'm Cycle, joined by Jonathan Yoshi. How are you doing tonight, Jonathan? I don't know if I think he's muted.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I just got some audio issues. 1 sec.
No worries. I'll carry on then if you're having issues. So we should talk very quickly about the race that we had the first race 2 nights ago. It was one of those seeds that you are happier you were watching rather than playing, because it was one of those races where you had to make a gamble between 2 choices. One was right, one was wrong, the other was completely wrong. And making the wrong choice led you in the wrong direction. We'll talk more about that later, though, if we can. We are underway, and we do have our first check to the magic shop. We do have both mages available. Exit at level 1. That is an excellent find. Very quick exit from dungeons. Fast at level 1 is also an excellent find. Bracken's going to get used as well, because that can break apart some enemies very, very conveniently. And not finding that much in the weapon and armor shop, so looks like we're going to be relying on magic. Is there a vendor item here? There is not. So groggydog doing the important first step of saving before heading out, just in case we run into imps that have some kind of nasty magic that kills you. And it looks like the ghouls are stunning today, which is not good. We have a pro ring up in the upper chest. We also found a flame sword in the lower left. So that's a nice amount of weaponry that we have to start off here. And Garland is broken into pieces, and that's the Garland fight. So 1 minute in, 1 minute 15 seconds in, we have Garland down. We have items being picked up. The Adamant, which will return into the Dwarf Cave very shortly. And the Floater. Ooh, early Floater. So both runners have now picked up their items. They are going to save and head into our ship. As you can see, we are starting with a ship. That is the setting for the entire tournament. We are going to have the ship in all flags starting out the sea. We don't have to go looking for it. The canal, meanwhile, is one of our loose items. A loose item is usually going to be our loose item. It doesn't count among our loose items because it is always in the pool here. We do have 3 other loose items going on in this flag set, so there are going to be the total of 4 items, one of which we know is the canal. There's a very good chance things like the canoe are going to be, I believe, referred to as tri-state. They're going to be held in the loose pool as well, but they can still appear as regular items in the mix. So white magic at level 2. We are finding life 2 there, which is excellent. Provoke is one of our first 2 towns. I think that was down the... I believe that was the Elfin spot. I missed what was in the Provoca spot, but that might have been Vanilla Provoca. I think Jonathan might be able to join us now.
Yeah, hello. Sorry, I'm a little late.
I'm glad you got the issue sword there. So is there something you're looking forward to in tonight's race, Jonathan?
Basically want to see what Groggy does to get past ShadowWalker. I think he's going to have to do something unconventional to get past ShadowWalker's faster execution speed.
We also found the rod from Vicky, and we had an early rod in the first seed as well. Earth Cave was not the answer then. Is it the answer now? What I'm referring to, of course, are the 8 chests located on the 4th floor of Earth Cave, and very often you can find a loose item in one of those chests, but you can also find it in the 3rd floor of Sky Palace, so just wherever the game decides to put it.
Our incentivized locations will be Ice, Ordeals, and Titan's Trove.
We see ShadowWalker fighting the big burly men, so it's all over for him. And we are going to get our quick check of Dwarf Cave. Since we already picked up the Advent, this was predictable that we were going to get this, but it is usually an early stop anyway. Opal Bracelet is a nice find.
So we found the Opal.
And the slab.
We found the Opal Chariot and the slab right next to each other, so 2 loose in one check. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty nice. 2 loose and 1 check is an excellent start because that means there's only a couple more items to find loose, one of which we know is the canal. And they're pretty much good to go. They can just check chests for items at that point if they still want to get ribbons and things like that. Otherwise, just the incentive items, beat the bosses and go.
The early key is also going to help with getting early gear and resources.
That cloth will be a really nice piece of early gear to throw away. Ooh, Pro Cape is a nice thing to find. Oh, Iz is going to use his cloth. Oh. So ShadowWalker's completed his Dwarf Cave check, and that was the Mystic Key trove as well. So I missed him picking up the Mystic Key, it looks like. So that's nice. That opens up the Corneria Armory. It opens up a lot of other locked doors along the way, as well as that one door in Temple of Fiends Revisited that lets you get downstairs. And as I mentioned, the Corneria Armory, ShadowWalker goes right over there. Not much in the first room, and a large knife, and Aegis Shield. That's the only really good thing out of the armory, except for the small amount of money, which won't do much.
The key was located at the Adamant turn-in. The blacksmith had it.
Ah, that was where it was.
With this seed being so free and loose with all those items, I think it sort of benefits ShadowWalker with the speed. It's going to be hard for Groggy to catch up if he doesn't turn on the afterburners.
Well, a lot of the gambling that happens when you have all the loose items show up early is how many chests do I want to open? How much equipment do I want to look for to make my life easier at the end of the game? We don't know, of course, what kind of Temple of Fiends Revisit we're going to have, and whether they're going to have to gear up for it, whether they can just go in and run downstairs at level 18. We don't know that yet. groggydog making a note of the 2 loose found, I believe. Pause there for a moment to think about it. Picking up and equipping the Opal Bracelet, not checking the Adamant. Did he forget he has the Adamant? I have a feeling he might be trying to look for the key before coming back for the Adamant, but the problem is the key is the Adamant. So that will backfire if that is what he's trying to do. In any case, we are finding the upper room in Temple of Fiends has nothing in it. I missed what was in the lower room. Oh, we didn't see the lower room. That's why I missed it. We're going to see it now. After this Mad Pony intermission. Pro rings. So I think we've seen. That is our second pro ring. I thought we saw 3 pro rings actually, and a pro cape. So we're finding some pretty good pro equipment so far. Oh, apparently Shadow had 4 pro rings according to chat. Man, they're all over the place today. Yeah, there is some discussion in chat about the adamant that groggydog has that he did not turn in, and it is being assumed that he just forgot that he had it, which is the only thing I can imagine being the case. You turn that in if you know you have it.
Yeah, it might just be a case of him going too fast and not realizing it was in his inventory.
Yeah, he may even have remembered it now and just thinking, nope, can't go back right now. I'll do it with the airship. He does have the floater, but let's just hope the key isn't locking the canoe or something like that. Ooh, frost. Why do the arachnids always have something? That was one of the stories of the last seed. I believe you might remember this as well, Jonathan. We had the arachnids with, what was it, blaze or something like that in the last seed? I can't remember. Was it poison, maybe? One of those
They had
really
poison
tough...
damage.
It was poison, okay. And it was really, obviously, heavy damage. So the arachnids always tend to have something on them for some reason.
Yeah, and they kept showing up throughout the game, including in a spike tile in sky that sort of scared our players, I think.
Yeah, it actually did cause a couple of wipes as well, even on the trap tile in the sky. And that was a seed where they had to choose between Earth and Sky. Sky was the correct answer at very low levels. I think it was a T-Mat gamble for ShadowWalker that ended up winning the game because he managed to break it into pieces.
Yeah, he pulled ahead decisively. One advantage he had was he brought the Bane Sword from Earth, so I think he felt he could use that to gamble on Tia. So he went up to... He used the cube and went up to Sky to get that critical canoe on Sky 3.
It looks like groggydog may have noticed the adamant in his inventory while he was doing his menuing there, so we'll have to see if he goes back to the Dwarf Cave before continuing at this point. We are in the Northwest Castle. We did pick up the crown, it looks like. So we... Actually, no, just use the Mystic Key. We don't have the crown. We are just using the Mystic Key on the room in here. May check the trap tiles. Yep, yeah, there is some mages and a fighter.
Yeah, not much but gold, but the fighter tile is pretty good grinding tile if he chooses to take it here. Also, I think after our last race, I think they'll probably avoid Marsh because it was pretty rough. We kept trying to turn them into worm food. I think they wiped multiple times, but I'm wrong because ShadowWalker's going there anyway.
I don't know. Did we see the trap tile yet? Because I don't know if we got to look at the trap tile quite yet.
No, I don't think so yet.
Yeah, I know we've seen the upper floor, and I think groggydog's the first one to get to the lower floor. I'm realizing upper floor is not the correct term because it's still floor 2. Anyway, ShadowWalker is clearing out the upper second floor section. And groggydog being reintroduced to our frost arachnids. ShadowWalker, I missed what happened. He must have gotten he must have exited or he got wiped. I'm not sure which. Here's that trap tile. It was Worm's last seed. Today it is a Nega and 3 waters. And that's the canal. Marsh required.
Yeah, just like last time, the canal was in Marsh Bottom.
But instead of being the loose chest next door, it was actually behind that trap tile. And we are getting calls in chat immediately, as I hypothesized earlier, for Earth Cave, since we already have the rod as well. So, could be getting a very quick introduction to Lich at some point. So it may look like groggydog is ahead, but let's remember that groggydog has not done the key turn in, so he has not picked up the mystic key from the adamant yet. I should say the adamant turn in. So that could be something that ends up slowing him down a little bit if he starts checking all the other locations that ShadowWalker's already checked. But if he presses ahead with what he has, just gets the key and says, you know what, I'll clean out Dwarf and I'll move on to Earth. This could turn out to be an advantage for him not going back and checking all those places.
So one thing that could happen is one of these key locks have a nasty spike tile that takes out Shadow, which would cost him some time.
That is a possibility as well. And the upper tile there on the ShadowWalker side has a trap on it. He knows that that's a trap tile, so he went to the lower side. This trap tile, unfortunately, we can't avoid. And it's 2 wyverns.
I think all those pro rings are coming in handy there on those hits.
Ooh, the opal bonk.
And I think Groggy Dog's going to make his adamant turn in right about now.
Yeah, he knows he had it, so he's realizing that's something he doesn't want to forget. So we know the key lock had 2 nice 2 items so far. We have 1 more item here. We'll see if it's the last loose item or not. Nope, it's just money. So the good news is that Groggy Dog is not going to miss anything on those 3 chests down there, but you can almost be sure they'll be on his mind as soon as he picks up the key here. Hooray! And now those 3 chests are on his mind.
I'm sure he's saying hooray, though, having the key. I think the smart move is to spy past those. Obviously, we know what they are, but it's 3 chests, or you could start doing Earth and unlock a lot more chests quickly.
Well, you may
of
remember
course,
Go ahead.
The Corneria Keylock and Elfland Keylock, though, might drag him in that direction, which makes him more likely to maybe redive Marsh.
You may remember as well from the play-in race that it was a key-locked chest in Sea Shrine. You know the one I'm talking about. That ended up being being a very heavy influence in the race, and probably the most favorite seed of many people in history at this point. Probably still talked about, I'm sure, as well. So anything like that could happen where a key-lock chest is important, and I'm sure that's something Froggy Dog, even though he wasn't in that particular race, I'm sure that's something he is thinking about. And he knows that can be a problem for him. Now, we do have the slab turn in on Melman's side right now. On ShadowWalker's side right now, rather. And we're going to see what magic we have. We have Cure 2 at level 5 and Heal 3. Heal 3, I think, is normally where it is at, or level 6. We have Wall sitting up there as well. Invis 2, I missed that.
Wall is white locked, but he does have a white mage, so he should have access to that.
And Zap is probably the best thing we saw in the black magic there. So Groggy Dog is getting a save in at the end. And gets his encounter and is going to... He is going to have Temple of Fiends. We are going to get the checks that ShadowWalker made already. But Groggy did lose a little bit of time because he had to make a second trip back to the Dwarf Cave once he realized he had the adamant. So there is a little bit of a time loss there. Hopefully this won't affect him too much. And there's the Ghoulish Ghoul.
There is pretty decent loot in the TOF, at least, for his check here.
ShadowWalker is using Poison Smoke on a collection of enemies, which has heal, coincidentally enough. And it looks like in the Crescent Lake location, we have found our on-rack. There's our Sea Shrine. Notice they went to check the vendor item and immediately reset to where the ship was. He didn't do any save along the way there in case it was a place he didn't need to be. And he got all that time back to go sailing where he needs to go. groggydog going to do a little bit of shopping here, I believe. Nope, going at the clinic and decides to turn around. Nope, it was the end he wanted all along. So he's going to save and reset again. Up, we have Sahigs with poison. Beautiful. So groggydog's going to check out the Elvish Armory right now. And there's some money. There's a silver armor and more money. So now he's got everything he needs to head outside of the inner continent. He's going to head over to the Malmond area right now. Ooh, Sharks with Trance and 3 stunned party members. That reduces the ability to run away. That can be annoying, but they got away. And yes, that is a vanilla Melmond. We have Town Shuffle on, but that is a vanilla Melmond.
And Onrak ends up being Elfland, which he'll probably enjoy. Now he sees that nuke.
Oh yeah, I would enjoy it a lot when I've seen Nuke as well. That is definitely true. Harm is an undead killing spell, but not really good at that level. We have Pure, not really much else there. And level 4, we're showing Cure 3 and Fade. We're going to pick up a little bit of Fade here. Looks like we may have lost groggydog's feed for a moment here. Not sure what's going on there. We'll try to recover that as soon as we can here. He does not seem to have gone offline. And there we go. We got ShadowWalker's audio now. And meanwhile, we have Trance on the Sharks. Oh, but we got groggydog back. So we do see what he's doing now. He is over in the Crescent Lake / Onrak area.
So yeah, like Crabcake says in chat, we're pretty much forced to Earth at this point, with ShadowWalker having checked every other place that he can go.
groggydog heads back to the ship and heads back down to another area of the world.
So I think this would have.
Go ahead.
I think this would mean that Earth has to have our last loose, because it's not incentivized.
I was just about to say, who's going to make the play to Earth first? Because I think that is where we have to go. Oh, we do have it resynced. Excellent. So we are going to have everything matched up again there. We're back in step here. We are finding a pure pot. We are finding another pure pot. So the purifying earth, first floor of Earth Cave. So far, a whole lot of nothing in this Earth Cave.
Yeah, but this will probably be a full clear. They know the loose has to be in here. Still are looking for, I think, ribbons, maybe a masa. So I'm pretty sure we'll find it soon.
What do you want to see be the progression here, by the way?
Like chat mentioned, I believe it's going to be probably a ruby to open up 2 paths to more items, since we have so few items on the board.
And we only have 1 loose, so we know that it's not going to be 1 item leading to 2 or 3 loose items in, like, Mirage Tower, for example. But it could still be a single loose item in Mirage Tower. Maybe they have to go find the ruby in Mirage Tower, look at the chime here. Who knows?
Well, if the chimes lose here, they still. That means, well, I don't think they can get a canoe then, so they need a canoe to get to everything else. So I think this has to be something that leads to the canoe.
Very, very likely. The canoe seems to be a logical step, but it is still possible to get to the. Well, you would need the airship to get to the canoes. That part is correct, but you can get. There are still places you can get without the canoe, including Mirage Tower. So we'll see what ends up happening here. And Nuke takes care of those Frosties very quickly, except for the Giants. They're a little hardier rather, and they're muted. Or at least it was attempted. They're hitting pretty decently. 67 damage on that last hit. Ice 2 on the Frost.
It was super ineffective.
Indeed.
Yeah, level 9, still probably a little light to go down a Lich, so I expect him to grind here a little bit, use a house, possibly. Actually, he doesn't have a house, so...
We are getting some information from Danny. It looks like she is confirming what you said. The turn the loose has to either be the canoe or something to turn in for the canoe, in her estimation.
Yeah, I expect the game to open up pretty quickly after this. Groggy Dog again, also heading towards Earth. Once they have the canoe, they'll probably diverge into who knows what direction, and we'll see who wins.
Well, there'll be a lot of options. There'll be, if that is the last loose item or something leading to the canoe, then, like the crown, for example, then, or even Matoya's crystal, then, as soon as they get that canoe, they'll have 3 or 4 places they can go, but we're going to be in the situation where all of the loose will be found. There's no advantage to going one way or the other. It's just a matter of doing things as economically as possible at that point. And who will be more economical, who will be quicker doing it. ShadowWalker has an edge in terms of movement right now. He has the edge in that regard. So right now, this is his race, but anything can still happen. There's still 4 teams we have to fight.
Yeah, but if depending on which incentive location they pick, if they find the floater before the other person, it might help them get a slight edge on maneuverability and pull ahead.
They have the floater already.
Oh yeah, they have the floater. Yep, sorry.
Yeah, I think the princess had that.
By just taking a nap on us, not showing up as the ace we expect out of him.
We do have our bundle of joy vampires here. Now, these are the actual vampires. These are not the speed bumps. These are the actual vampires.
Gargoyles of Flit 3 is going to be nasty in this cave.
Ooh, they're snorting. Not that that does anything dangerous, but still. A gargoyle snorting is not a fun thing. One thing we should point out about the party is the Thief is a member of the parties that they're running today. Being that we're running in a draft format here, so they do have a Thief in their party. That means they're going to have improved avoidance of ambushes. They're going to have a better ability to run away and things like that. So that is something that is going to be useful for both runners here. The question is, will that come into play in a dramatic way somewhere?
I believe you need to put the Thief up in front, though, to get that ambush bonus. But yes, running with the Thief will be very valuable here.
And vampires are casting slow on Groggy Dog, but he's unaffected. Now he... Actually, no, he is affected. Someone lost intelligence there. Boy, they really want slow, don't they? Now everyone's slow.
Yeah, the worst part of that is how much time it takes to run slow for 4 party members 4 times.
Well, it's not as bad as having a heal-happy group that heals all 7 characters 6 or 7 times.
That is true. This is actually a pretty nasty spike tile. You usually don't see Whiz Vamps before Sky, so that Whiz Vamp is showing he's a little beefy.
Luke has taken a fall, and they are without their fighter in that screen. Wooge is poisoned. Wedge, I believe that's supposed to be. And now the Thief is in the lead of the party. And Eglet is used. No life 2. Now they're going to use life 2.
Yeah, he almost used his house before life 2, and he slowed down a minute.
So you were just talking about the Thief being at the front of the party. groggydog is going to try and use that to avoid ambushes along the rest of Earth Cave now.
Yeah, it's based off agility and luck divided by 2 or something like that.
One issue is that he's down to 1 health because he's been poisoned, so that can be a little bit of a challenge. As long as the vampires only cast slow, it's not going to be a huge issue, as long as he can get away in 1 shot. And ShadowWalker just rolled over something. And then the usual trap tile of wizards that usually appears in Earth Cave shows up. And there's a cabin in that chest.
Yeah, it's funny how 1 vampire is a mini boss and 7 of them is a spike tile trap.
You want fun? Watch that 1 vampire win a fight. I've actually seen it happen.
And look at these blizzard oozes
Wow!
with frost arachnids. So once again, the arachnids are annoying.
I had to turn around and look at my other screen for that because I couldn't believe what just happened. But that is a bad combination. That same fight, that same tile last game was horror for them then as well.
Basically, I think the Marsh Cave from last game, everyone moved over to Earth Cave and decided to party here and cause trouble.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the good news is these Whiz Vamps are going to be decent for experience as a random tile here, so that's the good thing here.
I don't know if we found a safe spike tile. We did see mages and fighter earlier. I believe that was in Northwest. I don't think they're going to go out and get that, though. They're probably going to just push through this until they get it.
groggydog is grinding this.
You're right. This is a great XP fight if you can survive it.
And Blaze on the vampires. I didn't notice that before, but they have it now. That is not fun.
Yeah, with Blaze and Slow, it's going to be a very difficult grind. And probably only 1 or 2 guys are going to level up at a time.
So ShadowWalker is once again going to roll over the speed bump on the floor here. Not going to grab the cabin this time.
Never mind, Groggy's still at it. It might help him get through the rest of what... It still just keeps nastier after you get past this point, so
well,
maybe this will help him.
Remember last time he was trying to grind on the worms, and that they weren't taking it. They were fighting back, and they didn't want you to grind on them.
Yeah, the Whiz Vamp has a little bit less hit points than that, and the vampires are going down to fades and nukes, so it's about a 2-round battle.
Look at this. The rod was the answer. You had to get to the 4th floor to find the canoe. That does remove all of our loose items from the pool. The rest of the chest checking is all about equipment now, except for the incentive items.
Yeah, as a racer, you kind of like to see that. It puts you in more control of the game. You can sort of decide when you want to go fast and when you want to look for more loot.
Well, I don't believe we've seen any ribbons yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, and this goes to chat as well, because I don't remember seeing any ribbons yet. So this is something that the runners may want to find at least 1, 2 if they want to be very comfortable. but again, they could be in very out of the way locations. It may be better off just not going for them.
Yeah, no ribbons, and I think they've already checked most of the key chests, so they probably will be looking at a lot of chests. I would probably wait till Volcano, to be honest.
Yeah, the armory has a good chance to turn up at least something of use, be it a weapon or a ribbon. There's one of our elementals, the Earth, and well, it hits hard, which we expected. And we are now going to fight our first fiend of the seed. Hello, Lich. And it's still standing.
Rolled over 500. That's a rarity.
Well, I think that was about 450 there. Oh, that's about 700 right there. Easily 700. He is a little bulkier today, but he's still not dangerous.
He just was tired of everyone saying that people blink and you miss them. That he just wanted to show up for a bit.
Yeah, he didn't want to make sure he didn't miss them today.
Alright, now we get to see where ShadowWalker goes next. He has the whole world pretty much open to him. Obviously, he's going to pick up his floater first and get that airship in the air.
groggydog is a little grindy again here, it looks like, but we will keep up as best we can. Bats are getting his way right now. Or Keys, as we call him in the Legend of Zelda universe. And ShadowWalker is going to use that canoe immediately, drop the ship off there, pick up a different kind of ship to fly with, and we'll never see that regular ship again.
I think his first move here got to be to check the towns. If he remembers his slab that's translated, that will be turned at Lefane, and grab him one item, and then the other place is Crescent, which gives you a free item at the Sages.
Yeah, he's gonna head straight to the rocky area right now. There it is. In the Alps, we're gonna find out what if the vendor item is here. It is not. Magic.
So I think that puts that. So that puts the vendor item probably at Caravan, because I don't think we've seen it yet, and it's not going to be at Lefane.
There is no good magic at level 6 at all. Didn't spend any time buying anything there. And there is the herb for the prince coming from our friendly Woat up in the Circle of Sages.
Yeah, so for a quick recap, our three loose, the first two chests of dwarves were the opal bracelet and the slab, and then the canoe is located on Earth 4.
And then, of course, we had to find the canal as well, which was located behind the trap tile where you normally find the crown in Marsh Cave. So that is where all our loose items were. Again, the canal not really counting as loose because it's always loose. But we did just find the power box. So of the three so-called whammy items, if you don't press your luck, you know what I'm talking about when I say whammy. Of all the whammy items, that's probably the best one because that does give you some magical charges for defense purposes as well, for speed. And there's our bottle, 61,000. We're going to get our waterfall check. So he didn't buy the bottle. I'm wondering if he just didn't have enough money. I didn't see what his cash was. So maybe he just didn't have enough money for it.
Yeah, it was 61k, so I don't think he had enough.
Pat is confirming he only had about 30,000.
He'll probably pick that up quickly after Waterfall here.
Well, assuming he finds 3K in here, yes, I'm sure he will. So we are coming up on the realm of the out of bounds back. Keep an eye on the lower left corner. We're going to have ShadowWalker screen. We'll see if we can see it today. Groggy is still in Earth Cave. Looks like he's having some trouble in Earth Cave. Running into a group of green ogres right now.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, Earth Cave hasn't been friendly at all, even though he did a grind, so you'd think he'd have a little bit more survivability. He just had bad luck.
By the way, say hi to Out of Bounds Bat. We just saw him. If you missed him, you're not going to see him now. Ooh, gassies. Yeah, they're over 300 HP. Ooh, they're beefy today. So that's where that was.
So he's on the borderline of that 61k. He might stop in at Elfland and he could probably sell some excess gear and get the 61k he needs.
That might be exactly what he's doing. He's heading... Well, he's not going to the weapon shop, which is what I thought he was doing. He's gonna go to the armor shop. Selling that Opal Bunk for 20k, and there's 65,000. He is good now. The most you can be charged for anything in this game, because of the way the bytes work, is 65,535 bytes, which is basically all ones on the bytes. A question in our chat, how rare is it to find 2 loose in the same location? I don't have an answer to that, but I can tell you I've seen 3 loose in Earth Cave before.
Were they all in side-by-side chests?
No, they were different floors. 2 of them I think were on one floor and 1 on the other floor.
Yeah, I had a sea shrine like that once with 3 chests, or 3 critical items, including acquired progression.
So it's being confirmed by one of our runners, our defending champ Crab Cakes, that 2 loose next to each other, like that is really rare. And there's our cube.
Yeah, but still missing the chime, so we're still on the search.
I don't think we've seen the ruby yet either, so we haven't seen the Titan's item.
That's correct.
This will be the ruby. Or the crown, that works. Let's have some more fetch quests. In fact, I don't think there's a lot of items left that we need to pick up, so it might just be a chain of fetch quests now. This could be like a TNT or a ruby. There you go.
Yep, Ruby will lead to 2, and then we have 2 incentive locations left, so this will probably go pretty quickly. Look at that zap!
Wow! And there was
and that's
no
why we
save.
need ribbon.
All over. ShadowWalker took Astos lightly, and he paid. You don't see that every day, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Zap is Rub's big and much more useful brother, and Astos brought it out today.
Oh my, he's gonna have to redo that entire fetch quest chain. I think he's trying to remember what he last did.
Yeah, but Shadow's a pro. He'll be back on it pretty quickly.
Yeah. So he's got he only lost the crown steps, so he's gonna have to head to the castle, drop a save just to make sure he doesn't get zapped out of existence again, or if he does, he'll be right back there. He'll just be zapped outside in that case. And there it is. He's back where he was.
I think in our youth we all lost to Astos at least several times.
Or the vampire. Round 2, zapped again. This Astos is not messing around. Here, have a ruby. I'm going to send you to the 4th dimension. Enjoy that ruby.
If he does it this time, I might be tempted to go to find ribbon.
Oh my goodness. That is the first thing on his ability list. That is a zap happy Astos.
Is this attempt 4 or 5?
4. Get a nuke, 147. Astos finally goes for attack. This could be the turn. There it is. But that's a little annoying. And now ShadowWalker, remembering he has to head back to Sardis, so he's going to pick up the nothing. Now he's going to get the cube. There it is. And we're getting congratulations in chat for Astos for his ShadowWalker percent run. That's a gold bracelet cabin.
Nice pick up.
There's our loot. That's only useful in Temple of Fiends Revisited, but we do have to have it to finish the game. And there's the Oxio. So the TNT is still out there, so there is still a fetch quest somewhere. The question is what that leads to. I don't believe we saw the Thor hammer yet, so I think the TNT might lead to the Thor hammer is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, we still need a chime and a tail, so one of those fetch quest chains will lead to that.
So if we check those incentive and find the Thor hammer there, we know that we need the TNT as well.
Yep, so this turn in here will let us know what's happening.
Well, speaking of TNT, groggydog getting his crown. He's about to be given some bad news, I believe. I hope he saves. He does drop a
Yep,
save.
he's playing
Professional move.
Yep,
Now prepare to be exiled. Didn't I just say TNT was going to lead the Thor hammer?
Yep, you're right. So that means Ordeals or Ice Cave is either our tail or our chime to complete up the list.
And groggydog did not see Zap on Astos. Boy, is he going to have a interesting... Is he going to have a laugh at what happened to ShadowWalker after this seed?
Yeah, Matt, to make sure to ask that. Like, how scared was he of Astos, and then tell him that Shadow died 4 times.
I will have to play that one very carefully when we interview. We have cremate, sorry, on the images. That is dangerous because we're in Ice Cave. And there's the Frosties just wandering around. And the Wraiths aren't going to get to do anything. And some mages. Looks like Groggy Dog is now at level 14. He looks like he might be... I don't know if that was just a grind step I saw him take, or if he's still checking the trap tiles. There's more cremate. Up to level 15. Now this is a grind stop for Groggy Dog.
Yeah, Groggy's grinding. Also, ShadowWalker doesn't have the warp, so he can't do the warp trick, so he just passed 2 chests in the ice room.
The good news is even though he had to take a few extra steps to check those 2 chests upstairs, he will be able to just exit from the incentive chest. So that's the good news. He can get right out of here after he checks that chest. And we have seen cases where runners have picked up that item in that chest and then gotten killed on the way out. They had to go back and get it. Frost Giant goes down.
He's at level 12 now. Should give him a little bit of protection. Unless we see wizards or something with Zap down here, too.
Vorpal. We saw the Vorpal, and we found a Sandworm trap tile. That might be where ShadowWalker decides to take a break.
Vorpal's the shiniest sword in the pawn shop, so that's always okay to find.
Groggy Dog tries to park the airship on the mountain. That unfortunately bruised the underside a little bit. Nope, he's not going to stop here. Pedal on the gas. Or rather, foot on the gas, I should say. Foot on the pedal. So Groggy does have the level advantage right now, and that is something that could come in handy, especially when we get Temple of Fiends revisited. It maintains that advantage, but you have to imagine at some point ShadowWalker's going to decide, you know what, I need to grind a few levels if I want to survive, and then that'll be Groggy Dog's chance to catch up. But Groggy Dog has a little bit of ground to catch up at this point. They are on the same place in terms of orbs, but I think Groggy is still a few steps behind. He could make it up quickly if ShadowWalker stops to grind, though.
And that's the tail, so that also might help Groggy if he decides to bypass promotion.
And that means that ShadowWalker is now going to be able to grow right up and do even more damage, which he looks like he's not going to waste any time doing. Groggy Dog checking the vendor item, he'll find that the bottle is there, and hey, I can pick it up right now.
Look, you also bought some houses.
ShadowWalker has acquired infinite power. And he immediately redoes his weaponry. And armor. Dropping on the items there. Looks like he was at level 13, if I saw that correctly.
Yep, level 13. And that defensive gear is pretty good. He has a gold and opal bracelet on his mages and good armor on the thief and the knight. So I think obviously he'll take better gear if he finds it, but I think he has enough to do some dungeon diving now.
Pro tip, you cannot park the airship on the water. Well, those chests didn't have much of anything.
Yeah, and he's using a veteran trick of resetting out if he does not like anything that he finds in these chests.
Like right there, veteran move.
And yeah, Cardia is pretty much bust.
Yeah, Cardia wasn't worth much except for promotion. Right now they has the Vorpal, even though there are people who will say, nope, don't like the Vorpal, I want something else. Obviously not fans of the Vorpal. There's cults related to that. We won't talk about that. Even though that he does have that, though, he can still finish the game with that if he wants to. So it's a question of will he otherwise have enough, or will he keep checking other chests for other equipment?
Yeah, and ShadowWalker knows that because in the last game he managed to kill Chaos with 2 big Vorpal swings at the last minute. So he's well aware that Vorpal will win the game for him.
It was also a paper-thin Chaos, which kind of helped. He hit hard, but he was also very soft to the touch, which made him pretty much not dangerous. Was that a very quick pillar maze?
No, he's checking the spike tile, so he hasn't gone through the entire maze yet.
Oh, okay, sorry, I missaw that. And he meanwhile picked up the stake along the way.
So the branch of 4 pillars is pretty early in this maze.
That's good because we can find the right path out of this, hopefully.
Meanwhile, Groggy is going through all of his fetch quest chains right now, so he'll soon be collecting up all the items that Shadow did.
Such as the Oxio right there. And the Man Cat, because Catman wasn't dangerous enough. And the trio of zombies. I don't know if we've seen them. Nope, Fire 2, that's what they have. Hey, my spell's stronger than yours. Goodbye.
So right now, you'd have to put ShadowWalker with a decent lead, probably 5-10 minutes at least.
Yeah, I think it's about 5-10 minutes on TNT there.
And also, he's in no mode. He knows that this will be the chime, which will put him in the official go mode. And we'll probably see some very quick fiend fights coming up soon.
By the way, hooray again. And there's the Catman I was just talking about. And now ShadowWalker is hanging around level 15, which is where groggydog was a little while ago with his grind. And that's why groggydog
looks like Grog is going back for more. He's going back for more vampires, it seems. I don't know if I agree with this. I think he has enough levels to sort of, and he needs to catch up on items more than levels, I think.
Remember last race though, he did make the cheeky gamble of heading back into Marsh Cave when he knew there was a worm trap tile there at about level 14, and he got wiped out even then. So he does go for these grind tiles. He does want to get some experience where he thinks he can do it, and then he can just cruise through the rest of the game. Problem is that ShadowWalker may have enough to be able to cruise as it is.
Yeah, you kind of have to hope with a runner like ShadowWalker that he hits something that makes him wipe, which he did with Astos, but even that he sort of overcame in about 2-3 minutes at most. So it's sort of a gamble to grind too much, I think, against a fast runner.
Level 17, level 18 mix for groggydog, so he still has a 2-3 level advantage here. But again, you said it. You're hoping that ShadowWalker, he can run into a worm mech and make up a level or 2 very fast. So that is something that can happen. That same worm mech can also wipe him out on the way to T-Mat, or leave him resource starved to the point that T-Mat can get his own knockout in. Like, we don't know what's going to happen up there yet. Anything can happen in one of these dungeons that causes ShadowWalker to lose 3 or 4 minutes, and groggydog gets that right back.
Yeah, although with not having to do a full clear sky for once, the danger of a war mech wipe, it won't give you as much time as if you lost it after a long clear. So this is a pretty quick seed, so don't take too long, Groggy.
Very good point. This isn't anywhere near as nasty as that last one. Picking up some heal 2s now for the Knight. Knight's getting his own magic.
He's buying a stack of houses, which might mean he will use those to maybe do a grind himself before Topher.
When he does do that grind, that's going to give groggydog time to catch up, and he's going to have much easier time with those fights. So even though he spent some time doing the grinding on the vampires, as we noted, the fights will be a little bit quicker just because he has that extra power to get through those fights. So we're going to see if that does play a factor here.
Yeah, also he's doing most of his grind with a full collection of items to boost his XP, just that little bit extra.
Notice that his thief is down. He's doing a 3-man strat now. So he's going to probably keep that thief down, taking a nap. Poor Wedge, for the remainder of the game, going to be taking a nap. And generally going to be working just the 3 party members. The 2 that have the magic, the one that brings them back to life, and the one that does the major damage. And then the knight, you can do a little bit of black and white, and all the heavy hitting. So those are the 3 he's going to keep up. Thief is going to just sit there and take a nap for a while. We're getting a look at the armory. There's our falchion. We're finding a sorcerer trap tile. And some more money.
And
there's a ribbon.
Finally found our first ribbon. And it kind of makes sense for Groggy. He doesn't. There's nothing really for that thief to swing, so I don't think he needs him for the end game if he does a 3-man strat with his levels.
That is the most dangerous trap tile you'll ever see. Imps that run away. He can't even run away from them. They'll run away first. That's funny. Oh, he wants that. I missed what it was.
It's a flame shield to boost up his thief.
It looks like he's going to play with the 4-man strat as well, so that means it's going to be hard, a little bit longer for him to level up, but he will have that extra party member. Probably not getting his Vorpal, and he's probably happy to see at least some decent weaponry here for the end game. Takes out the single sandworm. Didn't get both of them like ShadowWalker did. And see if he grinds here. He's going to re-equip that Vorpal after moving over to the correct character. Realize he can't equip it. Nope, you have to be grown up for that. Not turning that tail.
Yeah. Crabbick Cakes makes a good point in chat. The knight will have life too, and a ribbon, and also an Aegis shield to help with that too. If they don't want to spread out the ribbon, so. And now he just picked up X-Cal, so that's going to make a huge difference.
I'm just going to point that out. And notice he swapped the Vorpal out for the X-Cal immediately.
Yeah, because the thief didn't really have anything to swing, so now he has the Vorpal, the knight has X-Cal. That's 2 decent endgame weapons working together. Another reason to keep that ninja around is we do have level 1 fast, so you might want to promote to get a little bit more fast charges for the fiend fights.
So groggydog, realizing the tail that he needs to be able to use that Vorpal is right there in that cave, and, well, is going to go turn that in now. I'll be curious to see if he spends any more time checking Cardia Islands. I'm guessing he will, just because he probably wants to find a ribbon. We know where one is, we don't know where the other 2 are.
Yeah, Groggy still hasn't found his ribbon, so he might do the checks. If he skips them entirely, he might catch up a minute or 2 on Shadow's time.
Yeah, he won't miss anything if he does skip the checks. We are seeing a carry fight. We are seeing Nuke Fade. That's about 450 right there. And another 96 takes it out. So about 575 damage, I want to say. Maybe 675. Anyway, math on Twitch.
It also puts him at level 17 on some of his characters, so he's not too far behind on Groggy on levels.
And not too far
Still
behind.
about 2.
He's going to catch it up. And over to the Sea Shrine. Looks like he's just going to go mode it now. He is skipping Mermaid side, which I would at this point too.
Yeah, always do Kraken first. If you really want to go shop for mermaid items, you can always do it after.
Groggy is going to do the checks of the items here. Can't blame him for doing that. He's looking for something. He's looking for some equipment, but he's not going to really find it here. Thornhammer is being put to use as a weapon. Magical weapon. Level 17 for Doc now.
I think they have the Forehammer and the Zeus Gauntlet, so this will be pretty much a free sea shrine.
I know they picked up that power bonk as well, because we did find that.
Yeah, Wiz Sahags and Art Sahags is probably one of the more annoying formations in the game. I don't. Usually it's unrunnable. It can be shuffled, but yeah, it's not my favorite formation either.
White shirt. That will be extremely useful for purposes of improving the fiend fights later on.
Yeah, not only the Invis 2 cast, it actually is a good item, so he can put the gold on the free gold bracelet on Isa.
Ooh, not checking that last chest there.
Not worth the spike tile fight. He has enough gear. He is taking some greed checks to see if he gets improvements, but he doesn't probably need them to complete the game as long as he's careful.
Yeah, he's probably happy with one ribbon. If there's a ribbon in that chest that he didn't check, he's not going to care.
Groggy's progressing through ordeals pretty cleanly.
And we are getting up to the third fiend fight. We're going to have a Kraken fight momentarily. groggydog's work is through the maze of Castle of Ordeals, going to clear out this trap tile, Saber Tease, and Catman. Heal 2 usage on ShadowWalker side right now, preparing to release the Kraken. Immediately coming out with a nuke, 143 damage. Kraken hitting hard, 267 on the Knight, which is scary. And Fade for 120.
See if we
did miss one hit there. Go ahead.
Let's see if we get a Kraken Honda. Do a nice hit on the fighter.
Still alive, still standing, or floating, and now literally floating.
Yeah, the Kraken rolled some decent hit points, but he didn't get enough attacks off, apparently.
Turn order was in ShadowWalker's favor in that case. And now we're going to see the quickest first floor of Mirage Tower you're ever going to see. Well, okay, he missed the door. That wasn't the quickest, sorry. Gotta work on getting that door.
groggydog got his chime out of ordeals and is moving on to his next stop.
Oh, something went there. Anyway, we are seeing second floor of Mirage Tower. We're not going to see greater than less than room. We are going to see this trap tile of trolls, however, and looks like he's going to fight him. Heat, not too dangerous. I'll take that over cremate any day. Stun is not good though. And one troll goes down.
So nothing in the first floor Mirage worth noting.
groggydog is already making the play into Sky Palace himself, so he's happy with his levels to take this on. He still has to do the Volcano and the Sea Shrine, however. He is going to be relying on ShadowWalker getting in some trouble. He doesn't know, but he is 2 dungeons behind at this point. Slimes with sleep and 3 characters affected. They're not running this turn or fighting, but the Fade is enough to take them all out in one shot. Rena saves the day.
Yeah, I believe the White Mage has his ribbon right now.
Good choice for that fight.
And with the Vorpal and X-Cal, he's taken some of these fights to pick up a few levels on the walk. Some decent ninja gear on Mirage 2 with a katana and a flame armor.
Actually, I've been watching those chests, so some good equipment it sounds like in there.
Yeah, but also a black shirt.
Oh, that black shirt can be, well, maybe not as useful as the white shirt, but still some magic.
Of course, he's not using... Well, wait, his ninja is back up, so maybe he is bringing him up for the final Topher.
I think he's happy with his leveling for the other 3 characters, and that might be why he wants to make sure he has the 4th character for the actual trip here. I wonder. ShadowWalker is doing a greed check here. Soft potion, a cabin, a heal pot. Oh yes, we'll take that ribbon. Thank you very much.
Yeah, second ribbon on the greed check is really nice for him, and I think he has a lot of confidence going into Topher after this.
Oh, that second ribbon would give me a lot more confidence for sure. Put on another character likely to die to elemental spells and make sure they have a better chance of staying alive, and then just pay him life 2 if anyone goes down. So get your prayers and wishes in chat, or your Warmech emotes if you have it. We are going to look for a giant robot.
I'm kind of hoping Warmech comes out and hugs him, but I think for ShadowWalker that'd just be more XP at this point.
Yeah, that would actually be the thing that ShadowWalker could actually use. If he fights a Warmech and gets the XP off it, that would actually be a huge boost for him that would actually serve to put groggydog further behind at this point. Instead we get a Nacho. No Warmech, we're going to go without it today. And T-Mat is launched our 4th orb fight. groggydog just arrived in Sky Palace right now. This will be a 2nd orb fight when he gets up there. Fade is utilized. Power Bonk is put on the Knight. And Brack attempt fails. There's 87 from a 4-hit attack. So we're up to about 250 or so damage right now. I didn't get the exact numbers. Nuke comes up for the 157, so about 400. Power Bump used again. Fade comes out for 88, so closing in on 500. 48. 248 for swinging with the Knight ready to start fighting, so that's about 800 so damage now. Fade comes out for 306, and that terminates.
Yeah, not a very scary Tiamat at all.
I believe Vanilla is about 1,000 or something like that, so he's in the range where his HP would normally be.
So if all orbs lit, what does ShadowWalker do next? Obviously, he's gonna buff up his knight and ninja with some spells.
Oh, he's making sure he has all the fast spells he can use in Temple of Thieves Revisited. That's the first thing he's gonna do. Then he's gonna exit out. Not even gonna save because he can save outside the temple. And he is now at the final destination, which is the same as the first destination of the Corneria. And at 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 10 seconds, ShadowWalker is now 2,000 years in the past.
Yep, and he's at level 21 across the board. That should be decent levels. A little under what a lot of runners go in with, but more than enough if you got the right gear.
It depends on what the Fiends roll. If the Fiends roll some really nasty spells, or some really strong hit power, just taking the Knight out, and in this case also the Ninja, because we have two strong sword wielders here, taking them out quickly would be a good way to put a dent in ShadowWalker's. Wow, a triple eye tile. Yeah, he's going to take that one.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even really need to use spells. Well, they have a little bit of hit points, but not a lot. You could probably just sword them down.
Not every day you get to see that kind of a tile. That's a 5,000 experience right there. Taking it again.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to do it.
Yeah, it's just too tasty. I would take this as well. Get an extra couple safety levels, move on.
If there was any concern that ShadowWalker might not be able to get down to the bottom of the dungeon, now there's a little less concern. Doing the unlock, doing the third grind, why not? It's going to cost a couple nukes. I wonder if he's going to exit and save outside and then go back in. It's not too much of a walk.
Yeah, it's still early. Depends if he thinks he'll need those nukes to get past the fiends. Probably would exit.
23?
Yeah, he's definitely going to exit.
He's definitely grinding. So, groggydog has to hurry, but if he can get up to... He ended up back at the bottom of Mirage Tower. I don't know what happened because I was watching ShadowWalker CNAT fight, so I'm not sure what happened to groggydog. He is just coming back to Sky Palace again right now, so groggydog is trying that again.
Yeah, chat telling us that Groggy got stun locked and then died.
Ooh, a stun lock. Ouch. So groggydog, I don't know if he already saw the ribbon here or not, but he's going to definitely see it now. I have a feeling that ShadowWalker's going to grind this till he runs out of nukes, hop outside, save once or twice, and then come back in.
Yeah, he'll use up whatever he has here and then do one last dive. He's not going to do this again. But yeah, he's probably going to hit 26 easily.
No, he's at 25, and I was about to say he's probably going to be happy with 25 because he did that on his last run. And that 118.15 back in the past. Again.
He'll get 26 when he goes through that fight again.
Yeah, he'll get 26 pretty quickly at this point. And if not off the eyes, then definitely off the Fiends, maybe even to 27. So I don't think the Fiends really give a lot of experience back here.
Not really. It's usually just enough to top off one level if you were halfway done with it already.
We have a War Mech.
And unleashes Crack and knocks out 2 Light Warriors at the start.
I will crack you up.
Kind of low rolled on hit points.
Operation error.
Double War Mech. Now I've seen this where one runner gets no War Mechs and the other runner tends to get 3 for some reason.
I think I heard of a 4 somewhere once, but the most I've seen is 3. And speaking of getting cracked up, I think we lost the stream again, so we're not going to get to see what happens in this War Mech fight.
You killed my brother. Prepare for hard reboot.
Yeah, exactly. I will reboot your software. So we'll see if he's been coming in and out periodically, so we'll see if we can get that back, and we'll see where he ends up. Hopefully he is successful through team out, or is on the team out fight when we get him back, depending on when we get him back. We are seeing the green Medusas right now. I still remember a race that those were the start. So the first version of this fiend did not want us to blink and miss him. Will this one be missable? Quad X doesn't work. And that was a speed bump. And I think that was just the team out fight that groggydog was finishing up. It was. So it looks like it was 2 Warmex.
Yeah, so we thought it, well, we don't know for sure, but it was probably 2 Warmex in a TF fight while he was off screen.
So unfortunately, and I'm seeing this question in chat as I say this too. Unfortunately, the fact that groggydog did some grinding earlier put him a little bit behind in terms of footsteps. But then ShadowWalker found the juiciest grind tile you could hope to find, or at least one of them, in Temple of Fiends Revisited, finding a 3-eye tile that regenerates whenever you step on it. And that was where he did his grinding very quickly while he was in the area he needed to be in. And he's on his way downstairs at level 25. groggydog only around there now, I think. Might be big higher now because of Warmech. And is going to, unfortunately, be 2 dungeons behind getting in. So he's hoping that ShadowWalker has some trouble, but does not know ShadowWalker found the best grind tile you could hope to find there.
Yeah, Groggy's probably comparable in levels, but he needs to get through 2 more dungeons. Even go moding, he's going to have to hope that ShadowWalker probably wipes twice at this point.
Yeah, that's all that we can hope for. We do know if this race does go to a game, or the series does go to a game 3, it will be on Saturday at the same time. But it's looking more and more like we're not going to need that.
And apparently the Wizhags also have Zap, but ShadowWalker was able to resist it with his team this time.
Okay, we're going to come to... I missed the carry fight, actually, but we are coming to what many consider the first true gatekeeper of Temple of Fiends Revisited.
The Great Shark?
And that... The what?
The Great Shark who just zapped his ninja?
Exactly. That's the first true gatekeeper. You must, if you want to get through carry, you must get through me if you want to get to the next gatekeeper. Thorhammer takes out the big eye, and now we're going to recover that ninja, I'm pretty sure. Level 26 now for a couple of the characters. And now we're going to come to the first, what some consider the first true gatekeeper of this dungeon. Release the Kraken 2! Let's see what happens here. We have a swing for 68 with the Vorpal, then 73 with the Excalibur. Fade doing much more, so magic's going to be the way to go here. You want to keep the spellcasters alive, it looks like, or get some fast charges off. So we are going to work on more Fade here. That is another 210. Jesu will keep swinging, 108. Another nuke comes out for another 143. Not bothering with any of the spell charges here. Just going to go ahead and attack here. Kraken isn't doing anything too dangerous. Disrespecting, in a way, this Kraken. Lit 2. Nuke comes out again for 100. And that is termination. We are on to the 4th Fiend fight floor.
Yeah, not a very dangerous Kraken. Just some Fire 2s and Lit 2s.
And going to give that slight boost, which maxes out everyone's HP. 289 on Issa being the lowest. Team at 2 engaged. We have the white shirt coming out to get some magic going immediately. There's the power block. We are not going to waste time. We're going to make sure that the knight is able to attack. Will Team at do one of his power grabs here? We're going to find out. Fast is used on the knight. Ice 3, not a power grab. That is weak. That's, except for Issa, that was a free turn. White shirt being used again. We are going to use Lock 2 to make Team at 2 easier to hit. Nuke comes out this time for 148. The white shirt is put into effect. Lock 2 does make Team at easier to hit. And the power bonk used again. So still only the 148 damage on T-Mat, but that was 2 free turns. groggydog, meanwhile, did take out the Kraken. He is on the volcano now, but he is it may be too little too late here as we're getting close to chaos. 847 damage for ShadowWalker there. Another nuke coming out. 382. So we are about 1200 HP at this point. I think more than that. In the middle game, I think it's 1600 for this fight. And we are around that level.
Yeah, again, nothing too nasty from Tiamat either in terms of attacks. So that might mean that Chaos has all of the fun spells.
I'm being told Vanilla is 1100. That's not what I remember from the thing I have. I'll have to review that later. But in any case, we are coming up on the Chaos fight, the last fight of the game.
And on the other side, Groggy is making rapid progress as he go modes water and fire in just a few minutes each, if that.
So he's just charging up and making sure he's ready to go. groggydog is pulling the T-Mat, or not the T-Mat, the carry fight. This will be his 4th Fiend fight. He still has to do the entire Temple of Fiends revisited. Meanwhile, ShadowWalker is on Chaos now. Fight is engaged at 126.11. What is going to happen? We have Block 2, of course, coming out to make Chaos easier to hit. We don't want him using fast or being fast in any way. And Power Bonk is utilized for Jezu, who has moved down to the 3rd slot to give him a little protection from any hard-hitting Chaos attacks. Is going to be the one to take those hits, hopefully. But Doc takes a hit instead, I believe. Heal 3 is used to, well, heal everybody. Another Lock 2 attack, or spell rather, is used. The White Shirt comes out to make everybody safer. And Chaos hits for 93 damage. Getting another charge up turn, it looks like. Groggy is now at 127.08, entering the past. So if something happens with ShadowWalker here, groggydog jumps into the lead. Cure 4 on Chaos, but no attacks had been made yet, so that was useless. That's a free turn. And terminate immediately after a Cure 4. That was paper.
Yeah, that was a paper Chaos, and nothing really of surprise thrown at him.
groggydog just coming upon the Triple I trap tile, and at the same time has noticed that his opponent has finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 28 seconds. He is still playing, it looks like. He has not thrown in a forfeit yet, so he is still going. And we're going to see how he continues here.
It looks like we have ShadowWalker in chat. So what do you think about that seed?
That was a really fast seed. I figured it was going to be very, very fast when we saw the quick floater and then 2 loose and dwarves. That was a big indicator to me that it was going to be a seed that was going to favor me.
And in playing it, do you think it favored you in that fashion?
Yeah, I mean, jet seeds typically tend to favor my style. I play pretty fast and loose. And when I saw, 2 loose right off the bat and then a required canal straight after that, it was a pretty good indicator that it was going to be both a quick seed and it was going to play into my strengths, and it did exactly that. Nuke was freely available. Fade came pretty quickly as well, so big strengths to the white and black mage.
And there was one thing that you ran into that I think made our chat giggle a little bit. You had a little trouble with Astos.
Yeah, he sure was a jerk. Turns out Zap is a good spell.
Yeah, he was zap happy today, and he seemed to want to use it almost every time, but then he finally attacked you and gave you a chance to take him out without getting exiled first.
Yeah, that was just some bad turn order. I thought about going into him the first time, whether or not I should have saved. Very clearly, I obviously should have. I learned my lesson the second time around, and from there it was just a matter of trying until I got the RNG that I needed, so it worked out.
You would actually laugh, and we're gonna ask groggydog what he thought of Astos later as well. But the reason we're gonna laugh at this is because he didn't see the zap.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So, with how easy the fiends were, do you really think you needed the eye grind that you did in Topher?
I didn't in the end, but I figured I had a bit of a lead, and the way that you lose a lead like that is by taking a deep wipe. So, if Chaos had more HP, he obviously had Cure 4. If I'd seen something nasty and, he was able to stall the fight long enough to get back around to that Cure 4, that could have been a very different fight. So rather than taking a gamble when the eyes presented themselves freely, I was like, okay, it'll take me like 2-3 minutes to dump all my spell charges and get like 4 or 5 more levels. And at that point, I'm going to be extremely safe going into this Topher.
And that was about exactly how long it did take. I looked at the times, it was 1:15 and 1:18 when we went back in the second time. So took you exactly that 3 minutes there. And groggydog did find the sandworms and the wizard vampires over in Earth Cave to be potentially palatable options. I think the vampires he grinded on twice, in fact. He tried the first time and then went back a second time to partake a little bit more. That might have been what cost him some time here. But he did enter Temple of Fiends Revisit at the same time that you were finishing the Chaos fight.
Yeah, we spoke briefly in SRL after I got done, and he let me know he was just entering Topher. So good luck to him. I hope that he's able to finish. I'm not going to spoil anything, so.
Of course. Yeah, I've seen it too, but I'm not going to spoil anything either. We are hoping that he will finish here. He is going to try the Kraken 2 fight right now. So let's see what happens to him here. He pulls out a Fade for 157. And there's another 64 damage. 127. So we know it was about, I want to say, somewhere around 1,000 HP. I think it was for Kraken, if I'm remembering this correctly.
Yeah, but he's doing the same spell, so it's going to be Fire 3, Lit 2, and not very much after, so I have a feeling Groggy's going to take care of this okay.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to be okay on this fight. I'm a little more concerned about the T-Map fight, because we know I did the math as you were going through ShadowWalker, we know he had about 1,600 HP. So that's the fight I'm more concerned about in Groggy's
Wait, this time he brought out Nuke.
Where did this nuke come from?
I think ShadowWalker got one more hit in on the turn order and didn't see the nuke.
Yeah, you must have just missed that nuke, ShadowWalker.
Yeah, RNG gonna rando. Did he not grab life too? I sure hope he grabbed life too.
I hope he did. He has putting the ribbon on the knight now. He has no choice. Taking it back off. Ninja's up. It was the ninja that was up there, my mistake. So the knight does have it now. And gets away from the airs, and I guess doesn't have life 2 on the knight. He's man-moding it. Ice 3.
I think
so I'm not feeling good
he
about
felt
this.
time pressured in the second half, so he didn't go and stop the shop, I believe.
That would sound about right. He must have been thinking he had to go, and he was right. He had to go, but he unfortunately didn't have the resources, and that T-Mat took him out very quickly. We can now confirm that he has indeed forfeit from the race. Not going to give the Temple a second go here. So, yeah, as he mentioned the SRL, and this is why I didn't want to spoil it, he wiped to the Kraken. I didn't even read that. I just saw the forfeit and didn't want to spoil it from there. So he did fall to the Kraken nuke, and that was what put him down there, unfortunately. But still, a very good effort. And he is joining us now. GG, groggydog.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So the first question we want to ask before we get lost in discussion here, how did you find that Astos fight today?
Fine.
ShadowWalker, you want to tell me what happened to you?
You didn't see the turn 1 zap.
No. Oh, that would have been so annoying. Yeah,
Three times.
I'd been
Yikes.
doing a bunch of fetch questing and walked into him without saving and got turn 1 zapped, and all 4 of my characters got exiled.
Oh, yikes. That's really funny.
Yeah, it happened 3 times in a row too.
I feel like I didn't see that.
Yeah, you got lucky. That was a zap happy assos, and you just lucky for you, you didn't see it at all. That was very fortunate in your case.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing I'm wondering, I think we noticed you doing some grinding around if the wizard vampires used that as a ground tile. Was there a reason you chose that tile?
That was one of the things I feel like there were 3 things that went wrong for me this seed. That was one of them. They were beefier than I wanted them to be. I felt like I should have been able to take them out easier. I really struggled the first time around, just to get the damage through on the Wiz Vamp, but it just seemed. I feel like when I find a tile that good in Earth, I'm tempted to take it just because I don't know what else is going to come. Obviously, I found a lot of really good ones later on and got to fight Ormac twice, and so like I had plenty of levels by the time I got to Topher. Kraken 2 wipe not included.
Sorry. Yeah, you got to see that 3-eye tile inside Temple of Fiends revisited as well. As soon as ShadowWalker saw that, he didn't do any real grinding before getting to that point, I believe. As soon as he saw that, he's like, "Oh yeah, 3 levels." He sat there for about 3 minutes and then went downstairs from there at level 25, 26 at that point. So that worked out really well and made it easier for him to get through the lower floors for sure. Especially that T-Mat. You didn't finish the T-Mat. We can confirm he had about 1600 HP on him.
Oh, wow.
That was a strong T-Mat.
Luke wasn't going to solo it, probably, yeah.
Yeah, you ran into that in man mode, and I don't think you even had any chance at all.
Yeah. I felt pretty good about the seed overall. I think my brain shut down there for a minute when I saw both the opal and the slab in dwarf. My brain kept being like, wait, is there another loose opal somewhere, like just out in the item pool? And I forgot to turn in adamant. I'm so surprised. I'm glad I remembered to turn it in, but I think routing. As soon as we got 2 loose from dwarf, I knew that like this was Shadow's game to lose. Because you just take the experience and the skill level, and like things were gonna have to break good for me to really have a shot. And so I was just trying to go as fast as I can. I tuned in right at the end and saw people in chat asking like, I didn't stock up on heals. I didn't go black magic or white magic for my ninja or knight. So it's just like I've got to hope that I can make up a second here and make up that time. I think, I had 2 really unlucky wipes. Like, I think of all the routing mistakes that I made, the wipe to the single troll in Earth Cave and the wipe to the metal slimes in Sky sent me back, like, 7 or 8 minutes, I think, all told. That hurt. Those were rough. Those were really annoying ones where I just kind of got, like, stunned and couldn't do anything about it.
And if you didn't have that nuke come out from Kraken, you might have been okay in that Temple of Fiends, even on the T-Mat fight, because I don't think T-Mat really had anything too dangerous that I saw in ShadowWalker's fight, unless again he just got T-Mat down before T-Mat had a chance to draw it out. That's possible too.
Yeah, so, my white mage was at 384, so that was a high roll. That was again, it was like bad luck. It happens. I had a lot of Temple of Fiends go my way in the Swiss, so I'm not going to complain about that one. But it was fun. It was definitely a nice antidote to Monday's seed, which was just awful in so many ways. It was kind of fun to do like a nice, quick, fast one where you didn't have to think too much. And GG's to Shadow, who I will obviously be cheering for the rest of the way.
Yeah, GG to you too, man. Sorry that you got some really rough breaks, both seeds. It sounds like this one could have been a whole lot closer, if not for those wipes.
No, I didn't see up on Astros, so take what you get. GG. Glad I made it to Temple of Fiends before you dapped on this time.
Yeah, I think you walked in as he was pulling the Chaos fight, so it definitely was. You definitely brought back 2 dungeons while he was going downstairs in that time he was going through, so you were going pretty fast at that point. But yeah, he was just... I guess you could say he was a little too far ahead at that point to.
And I felt pretty good about. I think I burned through Sea and Volcano in like 5 minutes flat total. I powered through those. I've never done those that fast. That was so fun.
You must not have checked Armory then.
I didn't. No, was there anything good?
Ribbon.
I found a ribbon in Sky, so I was actually okay on that front. I figured one was going to be enough, and clearly that was not the issue for Topher. So
Yeah, the ribbons weren't too big a deal, but it was nice insurance.
for sure, yeah. I figured between wall, Aegis Shield, and then one bin, I was like, okay, well, like this will probably be good enough. Didn't expect the higher roll nuke to come out and take out the white mage, but again, I don't feel too bad about my decisions this seed. It was more just like, of course, I'm going to be a little bit slower than the great ShadowWalker and hit a couple bad breaks. So I don't feel too bad about this one. Certainly, like I said, it was a lot more fun than Monday seed.
Yeah, I felt like when we opened up those 2 loose and dwarves, I was like, I kind of feel bad for Groggy because that's a big chunk of your chance.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I remember like during the play-in race, I think I was commentating a race and talking about the exact same thing. It's like if loose is out of the question, then it is absolutely up to the experienced runners to screw up. Otherwise, like it's just kind of go. So what sword did you end the game with?
I found the X-Cal and was using that up until I think Tia, and then I switched over to War. Where
I found Vorpal in Less Than Greater Than Room, or no, wherever. I can't remember. I found other stuff in Less Than Greater Than Room.
It was one of the great chests on a Fiend dungeon. That much I know.
I confirm that you found the Mazmoon. We don't know where the Mazmoon was. Probably in Z Shrine Mermaid.
Oh, it was behind the Agma trap tile, the Agma room, the top chest.
Yeah.
Oh, we never checked it.
No, the X-Cal was in Volcano Agma.
Oh.
At that point I knew that I had to be behind, and so I didn't check any chests in Volcano when I got there. The last chest I checked was the ribbon in Sky, and then I just went. Which I think was the right call. I had Vorpal and a lot of good armor, so.
So we should probably ask a couple of questions here. First of all, this does, of course, end your tournament, Groggy Dog, since we are now in the bracket phase. Losing the match does eliminate, so this does end your time you're right in the tournament here. Any thoughts as you exit the tournament?
Yeah, this has been just so much fun. I feel absurdly lucky to be here in the brackets. I was hoping for 3-3 in Swiss, and I had a couple good lucky wins towards the end. Just put myself in the right position to take advantage and win, and so I feel really good about how far I've come. I feel indebted to everyone who has put just a stupid amount of time into this, present company included. Certainly Danny behind the scenes, Caleb. This was exactly what I needed the last couple of months, and I feel very fortunate to have taken part. So thank you all. Thank you so much. This is a lot of fun.
It's been a pleasure to have you in the tournament as well. We do thank you for your participation. We look forward to seeing you possibly, who knows, maybe some commentary and tracking in the future as well. Hopefully we'll see you involved in doing your analysis at some point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you won't get rid of me that easy. I'm gonna take a break and go do the PXP any % tournament here and have fun with that. But I'm not leaving FFR by any stretch.
No problem. And ShadowWalker, I'm looking at the bracket. Took a moment to get it to work here, but I do have it working now. You're gonna have either Demarine or Spell Zap in the next round. Either opponent you're looking forward to here?
Looking forward to either of them. I would kind of like to go up against Demarine. I haven't had a chance to play her this tournament, so I think that would be a fun matchup. But either one of those runners, it's going to be a really close set of matches. So both of those would be very fun to race against.
And Jonathan, do you have any other questions?
Nope. Excellent seed. Always fun to watch someone like ShadowWalker execute, so it's great to watch.
And unfortunately, our bot commands in the chat are not working, but anyone who has them is welcome to post in the chat. If you want to follow either of these runners, we'll try and get that in the chat so you guys can all follow them as well and see what else they do outside of these races on their own channels. Feel free to give them a follow. Want to also thank... hopefully I'm saying the name right here. I'm going to try and get it back in front of me. There it is. We had... I don't know what your Twitch name is, Reese, but you can speak up in chat. You were doing our tracking today. Thank you for joining in. If it was your first time tracking for us, Danny was helping a little bit with tracking as well. So
nice
we
work,
have
Reese.
both of them tracking. Good job, Reese. Thank you for your help. Reese Wolf. Reese Wolf is the Twitch name. So thank you, Reese Wolf, for assisting. There he is actually up there in the chat. So give him a follow as well. First time working with us, and nice to have him on board. And Jonathan, I think it was your first time commentating as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Well, we hope to see you doing more commentary in the future. Nice to have you on board for that as well.
Thanks.
Any last thoughts before we wrap up? I'll take that as a no.
Nope.
Let me just see if I can touch on the schedule very quickly here as to what's coming up tonight and elsewhere across the tournament here. We do have other races going on. Let me see. 9 o'clock Eastern time. That's in about 28 minutes on this very channel. So, in fact, I think we're going to see if we can try and keep the channel alive and keep it going for that race. We might do that. So we may keep it live so we can switch it over in about 8 minutes here. But One Fine Day in Silver will be coming up on this channel in 27 minutes from now because a minute just went by. Dr. Funkin and Magus are going to be on the call for that. Crabcase can be helping with the tracking on that one, so make sure you give them a welcome as well. Elsewhere, we have on Speed Gaming 4 Games Gone Wild and Thundercloud going on at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And then at 0000, otherwise known as midnight, we're going to have Sonny Wrath 11 versus Asher 1611. They're going to be on this channel as well. So, again, 3 hours after One Fine Day and Silverfire. And we're going to have Elastoid and Crab Cakes as the first race of tomorrow's broadcast at 8 o'clock, and that's going to be somewhere on Speed Gaming as well. So keep an eye out for all those races. You can see more on that schedule through, I'm not sure, on their Google schedule page, however anyone who wants to get that can get that. Someone can post that in chat for us. And other than that, I think we're all done here. Thank you, chat, for watching. We hope you enjoyed the race. We hope to see you for a lot of future races coming up. There's still a lot of races coming up, including that Spells app and Demarine match I mentioned. The first race of that, by the way, is at 9 o'clock tomorrow, somewhere on Randomizer. So keep an eye out for that as well if you want to see who's going to face ShadowWalker. Hope you all have a great evening. I'm going to give you the final word, Jonathan. But thank you again for watching. Good night, everyone. Take it away. Take us home, John.
Thanks, everyone. I hope you all tune into our next race at 9:15. There's 4 races tonight, and they're all going to be exciting. Have a good night.
Good night.